Today we're going to be looking at how powerful banned legacy cards are. We're going to start off with perhaps one of the heavy hitters. Ancestral Recall. I mean, it says all these cards should danger by the end of this episode. Ancestral Recall is in contention of being one of, sorry, not one of, the best card in the game. Believe it or not, this thing rivals Black Lotus, and the only reason Black Lotus is usually considered like the best of the best in the game is that in combo decks, Black Lotus is just the most broken. So in the right deck, it's like that thing is busted. But Ancestral Recall in a one-on-one game is actually just insane. It's just 1 mana, draw 3 cards, you pull so far ahead of your opponent. Your opponent is just absolutely sick. If you flash this back in any way, I mean, the game is just over. It's like a one-sided, not even like Wheel of Fortune, because you don't even have to discard your hand. So, not to mention, you know, this also was a win condition back then. When you had unlimited number of cards you could play in your deck, you could have a deck full of like 40 Ancestral Recall. Just draw a bunch of Ancestral Recall first yourself, and then make your opponent draw their entire deck, and then basically lose the game. Levy's like, top 9, I'd say. Wow. Wow for Ancestral Recall. I would like to see this thing unbanned in Commander. I don't know how the Commander players feel about that. Because, like, whatever, you're up 3 cards, but, like, there's 3 other people that can go whoop you a new one. Welcome, Dan. Welcome. What else can I say about Ancestral Recall? I mean, this thing deserves to be banned. There's no way that you're ever going to take this off the ban list. It is just one of the most broken cards. There are way weaker card draw spells on this ban list, and they are still banned. Not to mention, you know, a lot of people think Brainstorm is already too good for Legacy. However, you know, you just sort of live with it. It's 1 blue, draw 3 cards, then put 2 cards from your hand on top of your library in any order. And the whole idea is you put 2 garbage cards on top. You fetch or use some shuffle effect. They're gone, and it's like they don't even exist anymore. So it's like you drew 3 good cards, just like Ancestral Recall. I'm not saying anyone's calling for the banning of Brainstorm, but I think the format all knows this is like one of the best cards in Legacy, and it probably should be banned. But everyone's like, whatever, it's Legacy. There's a lot of busted stuff. Let us keep our Brainstorm. Ancestral Recall is just Brainstorm without the downside. And, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Chris is like, keep it out of Commander. Get it out of here. Yeah, Cruise is banned. We'll get to that. All right, so Ancestral Recall, super hyper degenerate card. Has been since the beginning. Hasn't stopped. And Arkham's Astrolabe. The very sneaky card that just slowly got banned in all formats. It's banned in Pauper, it's banned in Modern, it got banned in Legacy. Is it a matter of time before it gets banned in Vintage? Probably not. I don't know. Maybe this is finally fair in Vintage. So, for 1 snow mana, you got a snow artifact that replaces itself. And you can pay 1, tap, add 1 mana of any color. I don't understand why it's pay 1 when you need to have a snow. So you paid a snow for this. You should pay a snow in order to get your any color. And it should be like maybe any snow color. John, we're going in alphabetical order, but thank you very much for your super chat. This is all alphabetical. We're going in alphabetical order today. So one big problem with Arkham's Astrolabe is it will fix your mana in no matter what. So it's a huge mana fixer. Also helps you play around one of the most... I want to say this is a glue to the format, Wasteland. You know, Legacy is a Wasteland format. This is a glue to this format, so you don't do anything too stupid. But if you want to play 2 colors, you want to play 3 colors, you got to be weak to Wasteland. Well, not so if you're playing with Arkham's Astrolabe. You play with the Astrolabe, just play with basics, and it'll get you whatever the mana you absolutely need. What's this? Common? Yeah, most... Ooh, that's makes for an interesting show. Most broken commons. Oh, then that would just be a Pauper show, right? We've been there. Been there, done that. I'm not going off of alpha. There will be a lot of alpha cards on this list, though. The snow dual lands are snow dual. Well, there is no snow dual. Oh yeah, there are snow dual lands, but they're not good enough. But they're still weak to Wasteland. Arkham's Astrolabe. Protection from Wasteland. Protection from Blood Moon. Gives you synergy with your stupid Ice Fang Quaddle by turn 2. Because you'll have like Ice Fang Quaddle, probably Snow Basics, and then Arkham's Astrolabe. So you get it. You have it all out. Yeah, Ice Fang Quaddle has good synergy with Astro. Because what Quaddle needs, like Ice Fang. It needs 3. Has Death Touch as long as you control 3 other snow permanents. So with Astrolabe, you're able to get that 3rd permanent. Turn 1 Astrolabe off of a snowland. Turn 2 snowland. Ice Fang Quaddle. Block your thing. It dies. Flash Speed Baleful Strix, baby. So Arkham's Astrolabe. It's like, it's not the most broken on this list, though. It's not the most broken. I could live with Arkham's Astrolabe still in the format. I don't think anyone will be happy about it, but it's not format warping like what's it called, Ancestral Recall would be, or Black Lotus for that matter. But it's still a pretty broken card. Good. Okay, I will say good, but not insanely broken. Very, 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 very good card. Very frustrating to play against. Very frustrating. Balance. I have never played against this card before, so I don't know its true power. So for a white one generic, we have a sorcery. Each player chooses a number of lands he or she controls equal to the number of lands controlled by the player who controls the fewest, then discards the rest. Players discard cards and sacrifice creatures the same way. I've never, so I don't know how good or bad this card is. I could see a world where you spew your hand and then you play balance to make your opponent discard their hand. But then you gotta, probably wipe your board too. Or unless you, you wait for your opponent to get, one creature out and then you just put one big creature in play and then you balance and then they're like, oh, my creature is bigger than your creature. Beanpot is balance is so good. And just says, I love balance, don't know why it's banned. All we have to do is play against it and find out. Balance and land tax. It's very anti-fun. You know what, Poxy? There's a lot of cards in Magic the Gathering that's very anti-fun. So I don't know what's the difference between balance and a million of these other cards. I mean, if we banned based on anti-fun, we would have banned Blood Moon. We would have banned Ensnaring Bridge. We would ban... There's a million cards out there we can ban. Balance is really low on my priority list. On me, because balance is love, balance is life. But this card's banned in Commander too. You can't play this anywhere. Just vintage. Balance into Fairy's Protection. Does that work? Your stuff phases out. That's hilarious. Until your next trade, your life total can't change. And you gain protection from everything. Interesting. If you set that up. Yeah, we'd bet if it was all about the fun, we would have banned the counterspells a long time ago. Counterspells are anti-fun. Pox decks are anti-fun, but still a deck in Legacy after all. Balance doesn't affect enchantments or artifacts. Oh, so that's the idea. Okay, I get it. So what you do is you just spew out your hand of artifacts and enchantments, you balance, you wipe your opponent's hand, and you're like, I got all this stuff. So you would have to ban all the artifacts and enchantments in order to make balance more fair, and that's probably not something that's going to happen. Yeah, I could totally see you going turn 1. Well, you can't go turn 1 Soul Ring. Turn 2, I don't know, Grim Monolith, put more other stuff in play. How do you abuse this? It seems tricky. So you have 0... Yeah, you would have 0 lands, but the idea is try to set up a board state where you don't mind having 0 lands. I don't know, put a Saga in play. Put some sort of Saga in play. And then balance. Fairy's Protection doesn't work since you phase out. Well, why doesn't it? Yeah, you phase out, you sack the board. You don't have a board to sack. It's not there anymore. I mean, I don't know the nuances between the interaction, but I'm assuming that's how it works. Monster CC is it's not hard. Just jam a bunch of fast mana, and then you slam your balance and say, all right, you want to keep playing? And then I go Force of Will, and you're like, ugh! See, we have some answers. I've never, like, honestly, this has just always been banned for me. When I was born, this thing was banned. I was born with balance banned in all of Magic the Gathering. I don't know the true power. I have never even played with this in any sort of vintage cube. Your land count is considered 0 while they're phased out? Yeah, I would assume so. Yeah, isn't balance banned since forever? To bring balance, as all things should. This should be, I should have a picture, they should have an altar of, what's that guy from the Avengers? The big purple dude with the gauntlet. Just shows how much I've seen those movies. I watched most of one of them, but not the other one. Welcome, Jack Torborg. Yeah, we're talking Legacy. Stupid banned Legacy cards. A long time ago, we played out with Zuron Orb with balance. Zuron Orb. Sack a land, you gain 2 life. I have no lands. Balance. Now you don't have lands either. Thanos. That's what I was thinking of. It should be a picture of Thanos with the... He's balancing the needle or whatever the hell he had on his hand. Grimace? There's no Grimace. Yeah, Barney, though. Yeah, there's all sorts of purple guys out there. Okay, I'm gonna assume this is broken. I think it's probably broken. All right, moving on. We got Bazaar of Baghdad. Was this always broken, or did this get broken when Dredge came out? That's a question. That's something for the historians that I don't know. So Bazaar of Baghdad is draw 2 cards, then discard 3 cards, which is, for the most part, garbage. Or maybe it could have been broken when Madness became a thing because of the Rootwalla. Rootwalla, maybe Vengevine was available at the time. I don't know. I know these things existed. Rise of the Eldrazi. Was Rise of the No, I think Ravnica existed already. Or maybe not. I don't remember. Bazaar is a money bag. Always busted? Like, in what deck was it in? Who played this in 1997? What was the Bazaar of Baghdad of 1997? You tell me. Yeah, I think it was garbage. Banned in 2003, way before Dredge's arrival. Well, what was it good with? Oh, was it good with Reanimation? When did Reanimate get printed? That's true. What was the first Reanimate? Oh, back in Tempest. All right, so it does go back. So I guess Reanimator and a Reanimator. World Gorger and Animate Dead combo. That's so slow. This thing doesn't even add mana. Oh, I guess you have access to Dark Ritual, so who cares? If you're playing with Bazaar of Baghdad, you have access to everything. Okay, yeah, but now by today's standards, who wants to play Reanimate? Is there any other way of playing with Bazaar of Baghdad outside of Dredge? I think it's just Golgari Grave Troll World. Oops. This is restricted in Vintage. That's wild. And we're gonna talk more about this later, but I think, like, is Dredge the only real Bazaar of Baghdad deck in Vintage? There's also a hollow one, maybe? It seems quite fair for Vintage. Draw 3, discard 3, and then play a hollow one. There's a new Bazaar art. Yeah, this is it. Oh, you heard that sound. Hold on. Arcade. Alright, Kusu, thanks so much for the super chat. Does the existence of instant noodles implies the existence of sorcery noodles? That's a hot thing. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is there sorcery noodles? I think sorcery noodles is anything that takes like 30 minutes or more to make. If you spend a lot of time to make your noodles, the sorcery noodles. All right, we'll get back to the Bazaar of Baghdad, but of course we have some housekeeping to do. We gotta thank our sponsors, FusionGamingOnline.com, my favorite place to buy my Magic cards. I can also get the Phyrexia All Will Be One cards. We'll talk about that when the full spoiler is out. I'd love to talk about the new hot cards that are coming out in that set. Some underrated... I don't know. There's very polarized opinions about those cards. Deal of the week this week. Check in at Fusion Gaming every week for their new deal of the week. This time it is 15% off all the list singles. So it's got that little Planeswalker mana symbol on the bottom left. You get 15% off. Same picture, same border, but much cheaper. Who doesn't want a deal? And don't forget, when you shop at FusionGamingOnline.com, don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu at checkout to get 5% off all your purchases. We're also gonna thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online to unlock your creativity, your imagination. It's a brewer's paradise out there. You want to play any deck, you can rent it with Mana Traders. And then if it sucks, you rent a new one. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_EK2. And now back to Bazaar of Baghdad. Oh, we got Doctor. The Doctor's in. I don't know if we talked about it yet, but Hot Take channel can be unmanned and will oh, you mean unbanned and will probably be fine in Legacy. We'll get that. We will get to channel today. We'll get back to that super chat. Oh God, that's crazy. Yeah, we're going more or less in alphabetical order. Okay, Vintage, Dredge, Mulligans until they find Bazaar. They even run Serum Powder. They go down to 1 card. You do what you gotta do. It's Bazaar or bust, baby! So I have no doubt that this is one of the most broken cards of all time. So, yes, it's very powerful. Draw 2, discard 3, especially in a world of Dredge and Reanimate and all that other stuff. Wild card. Really wild. Great spec on Rudy to buy them all up. Now there are no Bazaars left on the face of the earth. All right, next we got Black Lotus. The Lotus of all the most quintessential iconic cards in Magic the Gathering. 0 mana, adds 3 mana of any single color to your choice to your mana pool. Then it's discarded. Tapping this artifact can be played as an interrupt, or better known as tap, sack it, add 3 mana of any one color. This actually, it needs to be in the right deck, though. Like, in the right deck, yes, you combo off and kill them, but in the wrong deck, this can just be like, you just like 2-for-1 yourself, because you sack it to put to try to cast a spell, and if it's countered, well, then you lost it. Susanna says, you said in a previous video Bazaar was useless. That was an April Fool's joke, Sana. You had to check the comment section. I pinned a comment there. Lotus is fine, not broken at all. I'm wondering if there is some way to make this fair. Like a Black Lotus for creatures. Like you can only cast creature spells. Like that's, well, unless there's like a creature combo deck that could use it. Ugh. I don't know, maybe it's a little too messy. Maybe it's a little too messy. And maybe and it can only add like 1 color. I'm trying to make Black Lotus work here. Because I got Black Lotus in my vintage cube several times and it sucked. It actually just sucked. I would prefer just a regular Mox or Ancestral Recall or anything else, or a Time Walk. But the Black Lotus, I mean, Black Lotus in some cases like a super Time Walk if you can like put a 4-power permanent on the battlefield. Turn 1, Jace the Mind Sculptor. That's really not that powerful. There are better things to do these days. So I was like, broken, but only in specific combo decks. It's still a good card. It's still a good card. I mean, it'll be fine. Pull that out on me. I mean, that's a problem. Like, what would you put in play? Let's say we have Black Lotus in Modern. Like, what are you gonna do on turn 1? I guess Karn the Great Creator. That'd be problem. But that's what I'm saying. Like, what if it were only for creatures? I'm just saying this card sucks it is underwhelming in a fair deck. You're just describing Jeweled Lotus. Yes! Yeah, I am describing Jeweled Lotus. Although Jeweled Lotus is a little... It's basically the same thing, yeah. 3 mana for 0. Sure, let's break a format that's broken for like 10 years. Turn 1 wins in Vintage. Oh yeah, I mean Black Lotus is the turn 1 card. Turn 1 everything. Black Lotus in Modern Coco. Turn 1 Coco. If it resolves, yeah. And then even if it doesn't resolve, like, I probably had to spend a Force of Negation on it or something. That'd be pretty good. No, wait. But I'm saying only creature spells. Hear me out. Black Lotus. But only for creatures. Because this is the problem. It can cast instant sorceries, artifacts, planeswalkers. That's what breaks Black Lotus. Like, you can put on anything. But what if you could only cast it on creatures? Then all of a sudden, it's like way more fair. But there could be some creature combo deck that could be a problem. Like 2 Black Lotuses, 2 creature two creatures. I mean, you could have 3 Black Lotuses. 1 I mean, I guess you could combo off on turn 1. 3 black. This has to be legendary somehow. We're restricted in the format. 3 Black Lotuses. You could Deceiver, Exarch, Kiki Jiki, GG. Actually, Kiki Jiki has haste. Turn 1 Shardless Agent. Oh my goodness! We broke Modern already. We broke it. Yeah, I guess we can't make this thing fair. Turn 1 Shieldred in NTY. I don't know what that is. Nikachu, how many creature combos exist? That's still broke. Yeah. Damn it! Why can't we have Black Lotus? I want Black Lotus somehow. But I don't want to play Vintage. I guess I have to play Commander and play with Jeweled Lotus. It's the best thing I'm going to get. I still need to buy a Jeweled Lotus. I have no incentive to buy... I have no incentive to upgrade my Commander deck. I barely play with it. Maybe I've got to upgrade it for when I go to like things like Magicon and stuff. Yeah, give us Time Walk. Although that's also just broken. Why can't we have Black Lotus? Because it's broken. Alright. Yeah, we can... This is outrageously powerful. Too powerful. We can't even make a watered-down version of this card without breaking it straight in half, just in theory. Alright, you know what channel it is? It's time for, channel. That wasn't a very smooth transition, but it is a green sorcery. Until end of turn, anytime you could activate a mana ability, you may pay 1 life. If you do, add a colorless to your mana pool. As far as I'm concerned, this is only used to break the channel fireball combo or any sort of X effect. You play channel, you spend all your life, you then fling a fireball at your opponent to death. There's also some theories that you could use it to like put Emrakul in play. So you could like just pay 50 in life, get an Emrakul in play, and effectively win the game. Because whatever your opponent puts in play, it's going to get sacrificed. They're going to go down to 5, and they're probably lost. Probably just dead lost at that point. Is there any other uses for channel that we should be afraid of by today's standards? Yeah, Nikachu for Game Night 2023. Force them for me to upgrade my deck. Jeweled Lotus is not a good upgrade for your commander deck. Soul Ring is usually a better card. I'm a mono blue deck, so Jeweled Lotus is great. Yeah, turn 1 Emrakul. Turn 2 Ulamog. Dr. Django again with the super chat. Without Lotus, the fireball combo is super crippled, and Legacy is fast enough for the combo to not overtake the meta. No, but there's still like Lotus Petal and stuff, right? There's like Lotus Petal, Simian Spirit Guide, Elvish Spirit Guide, Metamorphose to mix that mana into what you want. I think you can still go turn... Like, I think Legacy would prefer not to have a consistent turn 2 kill. Like, they're fine with turn 3 kills. Like, turn 3 is fine. Turn 2, if you're lucky. But channel would make it very, very consistent. And you, like, all you need is channel and, like, fireball or an Eldrazi. I guess that's what it would be by these days. Channel and blue-green show intel probably too strong. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's a great idea. So you have show intel to win, and you also have channel to win. And I guess what do you just replace Grizzlebrand now with like another Eldrazi, because they're both relatively good anyway. Yeah, that would work totally fine. I like that idea. Does Legacy not have Force Will to stop combos like this? Yes, but then that means like every other deck is like ultimately screwed. No, I mean, we do have Reanimator can, like, win on turn 2, or effectively win on turn 2. And I guess it's just a matter of how many of those types of decks do you want to have in the format. Mind you, some other combo... Okay, mind you, Show and Tell is like a slowish combo deck that gets to play Force of Will themselves. And this would be like a turn... Like, Reanimator... Is there a blue-black Reanimator? I want to say there should be, but I don't know. There should be, because there's, like, Careful Study, right? But anyway, the, or maybe there isn't. Because just going mono black for Unmask is better. It's effectively like a Force of Will on their part. Channel technically is probably stronger than Black Lotus. You could get 3, oh yeah, you get 3 mana, or you could get 15, or 19. 2 mana, yeah, but like, you get infinite more mana with Black Lotus. You paid 0 and you got 3. 3 divided by 0, what does that mean? You have no idea. Nobody knows. You can beat Reanimator on turn 0 with a ley line. Oh yeah, there we go. Someone's played against it. There used to be blue-black Reanimator. That sounds cool to me, but I think they just went like blue-red. Sorry, black-red now. Blue-black was slower but more resilient. Red-black is faster and falls apart easier. That's the falling apart part that we don't like, but other people like. Belcher? How does Belcher use this? Oh, channel. So channel, pay a bunch of life. Belcher, activate, you lose. I guess that's possible too. Who knows what would happen? They should just do that once in a while. Like, why is this banned again? And they unban it just to see what happens? Like, for 1 month. Like, who cares? Like, do it, like, right... So, like, after, like, say, an Eternal Weekend, when, like, no playtesting is mandatory at all, they just unban channel for a month. They just say, hey, look, it's only for a month. It will be with 100% certainty rebanned. Let's just have some fun. Let's rotate with the weird banned list and see what the metagame can do about it. I think that would be cool. I think Wizards should play around with the ban list a little bit more. Even in Modern, I'd be fine with that. Once in a while, just create some chaos. They do it enough just by printing cards into the format. Okay, where are we going? Let's say channel, we're gonna agree channel is not coming back. Not even a chance. Oh, can anyone guess what this next card is? Chaos Orb. 2 mana. I don't even know why it's on the ban list. Why can't we just agree like dexterity cards just aren't supposed to exist? So 2 mana, pay 1, flip Chaos Orb onto the playing area from a height of at least 1 foot. Chaos Orb must turn completely over at least once, or is discarded with no effect. When Chaos Orb lands, any cards in play that it touches are destroyed, as is Chaos Orb. But, like, so depending on the playing area, I guess you could, like, spread out all your permanents super far and then prevent it. Are we even allowed to do that? Are we allowed to, like, shred it in pieces and then actually sprinkle it on the board? Is that, like, a legal play? I gotta talk to a judge about this. Are there any, like, level 3 judges that could confirm that I'm allowed to rip up a Chaos Orb? It says flip Chaos Orb onto the playing area from at least 1 feet. So, I mean, technically, if I flip all the pieces, who cares? Do you know the guy that ripped 1,000 pieces of a Chaos Orb in a tournament and blew the entire field? I heard rumors. Like, there are rumors of this. I don't see any video evidence of any of these things. Unbanned, then shred. What's the rule on blowing your opponent's chaos? Oh! Whoa! What? That super 4-headed here, or 5-head. What's the ruling on blowing your opponent's Chaos Orb mid-air onto their board? Yeah, what if there's a gust of wind or something? Like, what if you're playing outside? And, you know, back then you played outside. Who didn't play on the grass at least once in their life with their trading cards? So you're holding your Chaos Orb. Do I have any sort of card here? So you're holding your Chaos Orb, and then you try to flip it, but then the wind blows, and then like the thing just flutters down onto your board. And then if that's possible, am I allowed to influence it? Is outside influence allowed? It's So when you go to your next turn, if they unban Chaos Orb, you have to prepare your lung capacity for when they play their Chaos Orb, that you blow it. And then maybe you have to, as a player, figure out some new technique. You gotta flip it in such a way that the opponent blowing it isn't gonna affect it too much. Michael says, no, you're not allowed to change your deck construction, which came from the story you referenced. The story is actually true. I would just gambit it onto the other dude's eye. Oh, God. I mean, per the wording of the card, all of that is allowed. I don't know! It says flip the card. Like, if Chaos Orb is on the battlefield, flip Chaos Orb onto the battlefield from a height of at least 1 foot. It doesn't say that you're allowed to, like, tear it apart in pieces. In Legacy tournaments, they unban this card and falling, but the errata says that you have to target a permanent. Oh, I see. Are you seeing Legacy tournaments? You mean, like, 93, 94? Like, this is still banned. Like, this is why we're talking about this card. It's banned in Legacy. It's super banned. Chaos Orb unbanned. Invest in weighted sleeves. Used to be able to just spread your permanents out as well. Chaos Orb. It's like, Chaos Orb on the stack. In response, I'm going to spread out all my permanents. And everything. Hold on, can it touch the deck? Destroy all non-token permanents it touches. Okay, so the deck is not a permanent. Bring a table fan to the tournament. That would be funny. Ripping up the card is considered changing your deck. Oh, is it? Ripping up the card is considered changing your deck construction. Okay. Oh yeah, because you won't have that card for future games. Can't just like piece it. Or imagine someone plays a Chaos Orb that is full of tape. It's like taped up everywhere, and then they pull the tape away for this one moment, and then they sprinkle it on the board, and then they pull out their Scotch tape. Well, where's our Scotch tape? Let's get some Scotch tape here. We're going deep, people. This is like a Chaos Orb starter pack. You get your and it's called Magic. Look at that. Scotch's hundreds of uses Magic 3-pack. Excellent to go with your Chaos Orb. So they peel off the Scotch tape and yeah. Judge, the cards are sleeved, so they aren't technically touching. Well, yeah, you got to pull it out of the sleeve if you want to sprinkle it around. Spread the love. I see your marked cards in your deck. Yeah, this one Chaos Orb that's really, I don't know, really off. Taping up the Chaos Orb for to play for time. Chaos stickers coming to an end. Oh yeah, Chaos stickers. Rulings even say touching sleeved cards counts as touching. Okay. And these situations are why we want Chaos Orb unbanned. Use a checklist card and reuse your sprinkles. Oh yeah, Chaos Orb, the checklist card. We're going in alphabetical order, Nicola. Thanks for the suggestion. You cannot tear the card up. Destroying it is technically marking it. That's super illegal. You know what? There was a lot of illegal things back then, so I don't see this as any different. Just jam the parts of the card back into the sleeve. This is a really unique card. I don't see how we can we definitely can't bring this stuff back, because that's just stupid. But yeah, and then if you're like near a vent or something, blowing the right way. But now here's the question. Is it broken? Is this card actually broken? I don't think this card's good at all. Like, there's like, first off, there's a really good chance that it can only touch one card. Like, you just have to space out your permanents in such a way that you're only going to hit one card. And it's not even guaranteed to hit that one card. So it's like 3 mana to maybe hit the card that you want. And then maybe it hits nothing. I mean, it literally could just fall off the table. So yeah, it's not broken. It's just silly. It's very, very silly. So I'm not saying we can unban this, but today's show is how powerful or the banned legacy cards are, and this one is not. Very powerless. So this is actually, I think, the first... Is this the first pass that we have is Chaos Orb? Chaos Orb, fine for legacy. Oh, here's a super debatable card. We got Deathrite Shaman. Oh, Deathrite Shaman, baby. I love this card. It's too bad that it's banned, but you have to ban it. So for a hybrid black or green, which is a there's all sorts of mistakes on this card. Man. And you know, you could say, you know, it's the fetch land's fault, but whatever. Okay, for a hybrid of Golgari, we've got a 1/2 Elf Shaman. Tap, exile target land card from a graveyard. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. The most broken of all the abilities. So black and green both have, like, the best mana dork on the face of the earth in history. But for a black, you can tap, exile target instant or sorcery card from a graveyard. Each opponent loses 2 life. So not only is it graveyard hate for the lands, for the instants and sorceries, but you can also drain. It's a win condition by itself. Unblockable, 2 damage. Instant speed, 2. So you could, like, block something and also drain. And then, of course, it's not over yet, because this is why they call it a planeswalker, the 1 mana planeswalker. It's got a green, tap, exile target creature card from a graveyard, you gain 2 life. So F your reanimator decks. So long as this thing's legal, any sort of graveyard deck is, like, suffering because all the creatures get exiled. And so many generic decks. Try to name a deck that isn't black. It doesn't have any red at all. It's like Burn, Merfolk, Death and Taxes, and then everything else uses green or black in some capacity. So every other deck will have Deathrite Shaman in it. Llanowar Elf has gotten some big upgrades, got some big gains. Ooh, strong Llanowar Elf here. Modern Jund 2013 Vietnam flashbacks. Michael says, I miss playing with Deathrite. Help me win against lands on my Mulligan of 4. Absolutely would do that. Screw I mean, there's so, it's this insane Swiss Army knife. In some cases, though, I do miss it because whenever the graveyard decks are just being oppressive, and there's no reasonable way to deal with graveyard decks, is you sometimes have to ban a card. It brings me back. Like, why can't we have Deathrite Shaman again? But inevitably, Deathrite Shaman just becomes... It's like, you know, you bring in the snakes to deal with the rats, and now you have a snake problem. And there's, like, nothing to defeat the snakes. Or, I don't know, you might call this a mongoose or something. The reanimator decks are the snakes to beat up, I don't know, some other oppressive deck. And then this is a mongoose, then you have a mongoose problem. False Cascade can't use Shaman, it screws the Cascade. Yeah, you can't use, that's true. Okay, Cascade cannot use this. Unless you want to Cascade into a Shaman. Oh no, they're cascading into Shaman. So it's good against lands, Phoenix, Reanimator, Cooking Breakfast, or any deck that wants to use their graveyard. If you need Delirium, Murktide, there's like, so it hurts Dragon Rage Channeler, Murktide. You got 2 Deathrite Shamans out, you better believe they're, like, with 1 Deathrite Shaman out, it's like Relic of Progenitus. 2 Deathrite Shamans out, it's like 2 Relic of Progenituses. Mongoose better than a snake, in my opinion. Okay, Michael talking from experience here. Probably. Who decides what cards are banned? The community, frankly. Community, not as from my experience, and I've been watching the Magic the Gathering community for like a solid 9 years now. Nothing gets banned until... Like, there could be a problem in the format. The problem is there the entire time, but people just tolerate it. And then there's a point where people are like, okay, I'm sick of this card. And then someone else is like, yeah, I'm also sick of this card. You're right. This card sucks. And then they're like, okay, we'll look into it. Okay, we'll ban it. That's how bannings happen these days. It's just when everyone is angry. I mean, the format could be broken in half, but if no one complains, nothing's done about it. Yeah, it's so gas in Commander. And also so useless in Pioneer because they don't have fetch lands. It's also Anti-Mystic Sanctuary. Yeah, it keeps Mystic Sanctuary in check, which is also a banned card. Most of the banned cards of the past 5 years are cards that were too strong in the official Magic Arena Championships. Cannot speak for the Magic for Standard. Cannot speak for Standard at all. When control decks run mana dorks, you know it's a problem, even though I love playing with it. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, democracy cry out in some ways. Brett, to your community argument, it depends. There was a huge outcry for Ugin to get banned, and it didn't happen. No, there was a huge cry for something to get banned from the Eldrazi decks. And some people thought it was Ugin, and some people thought it was Eldrazi Temple, and Ugin was the one that got the axe. So it was between those two. And probably R&D was right. Probably because Ugin created those free win scenarios where you would get, you could spew out a million, what's it called, on turn 1, endless ones and Eldrazi mimics. So you could get way ahead on turn 1 with the right hand, whereas you could not do that with Eldrazi Temple. Will Shieldred is boned then? Well, sometimes they'll sit on the banned card, so long as the format is not warped too badly. They'll sit on a bannable card for like a year. That happened with Uro. That happened with there's another card that was pretty bad and got the banning after a year after it was printed. Maybe it was Lurrus, actually. Lurrus was unbanned for 2 years. Nonetheless, people were consistently complaining about companions in general. Are you talking about, like, in Vintage? Justin says, also, it turns out in a format defined by instants and sorceries, a 1-drop that deals 6 to 12 damage every game is pretty good. Yes! Deathrite Shaman had that. It was very, very, very good. Very good for that reason. So, Deathrite Shaman. Okay, this is, like, in between. I think it's a good card. It, like, never supremely breaks the format. It's just, like, inevitably every deck is a Deathrite Shaman deck because it's just, like, the best thing that you can do. And it can oppress other oppressive strategies. But, okay, so is it like, super powerful? No Deathrite Shaman deck is winning on turn 2, okay? That's how I'm going to put it. So we're going to put, like, this is, like, just the most insane utility card of all time. But I'm not going to put it as something like, this thing is going to destroy you by turns 2 and 3. It's more of a thing like, it's going to get a good foothold of the game and it'll grind you out till, like, turn 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. It's actually really good for slow, patient magic. Alright, now we move on to... Here's a card that Commander players absolutely love. We got, if you need some consultation, we got the Demonic Consultation for a black. It's an instant, which is actually insane. Name a card, remove the top 6 cards of your library from the game. Goodbye. What if you name your Thassa's Oracle by accident? Or sorry, what if you flip over your Thassa's Oracle by accident? Is that like a risk you're willing to take in Commander? I guess you have 99 cards, so what are the odds? Okay, so you name a card. You name Thassa's Oracle, probably. Remove the top 6 cards of your library from the game, then reveal cards on the top of your library until you revealed the name card. Put that card in your hand and remove all other cards revealed this way from the game. But in Legacy, we got 4 copies of every card, so the odds of all 4 copies. 4 copies of this in Doomsday, no thanks. You know, funny, Doomsday has always been around, but it's just recently Doomsday has actually become a very good deck. I don't remember why, but... This is a big nope, 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 nope card. What's funny is, Commander players, you should listen up. Basically, all the tutors are banned in Legacy, because they already know what the power level of these cards are. People pretty much don't use it as a tutor unless they're about to lose. Oh, I see what you mean. So, yeah, mostly people will name nothing. So you'll have like a win condition. So if you, well, okay, if you have Thassa's Oracle, you can use this for Thassa's Oracle. I would say in Legacy, you would say Demonic Consultation, get Thassa's Oracle, and then use another Demonic Consultation, name Garfield, the orange cat, and then reveal the top of your deck until you have nothing. Usually you wait to cast this until you have an Oracle trigger on the stack. Perhaps oh yeah, that's true. You can play Thassa's Oracle, it resolves, trigger on the stack, play Demonic Consultation, and win. There, exactly. I name Blue Eyes White Dragon. Yeah, that's interesting. Thassa's Oracle combo. Merfolk, maybe we could make blue-black Merfolk in Legacy if Demonic Consultation was legal. I don't think we would have the most broken Thassa's Oracle deck, to be honest. The most messed up way to do the combo is draw both on a mulligan hand and put Oracle on the bottom. Oh, that's true. That's a great idea. Demonic Consultation. Thassa's Oracle. Okay, draw my Thassa's Oracle. You have to have like an extra card on the bottom though, right? Because if you go turn 1, get your Thassa's Oracle, now you have no cards left in your deck. The most common card choice is the name Abandon Hope. Well, that's the most cheekiest. Legacy has all the tutors banned because you could just play 4 of each in EDH and play 1 of each, so tutors go burr. Yeah, you go play 1 of each in Commander, but in Legacy, you just make the most consistent, oppressive, bannable combo decks. Fool, you activated my trap card. Justin is like, turn 1 Consult for Oracle, Force, turn 2 Lotus Petal Oracle, Consult will be a thing? Absolutely. Totally would be a thing. I mean, would that be the only deck you would use Demonic Consultation in? Like, would we not use Demonic Consultation in other combo decks? Or would it just not be worth it? Or would we use Demonic Consultation in, say, like, Blue-Black Reanimator, but also jam Thassa's Oracle as, like, another way of winning the game? Side note, you do have to name a valid card name, which is why Abandon Hope is popular for Magic the Gathering Online. What is another good one? Card names you want to name with Demonic Consultation to just rub it in against your opponent. That's a show name. The last thing your opponent hears before you Thoracle them. Storm can play 1 of copies of Oracle and Consult. Oh yeah, they could do that. Ornithot. Yeah, that's what my brother would say. Name Chubtoad. Yeah, that one's a good one. You're already dead. They did that specifically for the Demonic Consultation people. And also the Pithing Needle people. You're already dead. Oops. I thought that was a card already. You are. Oh, so it's you are. You are already dead. There we go. Destroy target creature that was dealt damage this turn. Draw a card. Oh man. Poor fella gonna get their head kicked in from behind. Poor guy. All right, Demonic Consultation. Super broken. How powerful? Well, there's a whole Commander combo deck based around this, and that Commander combo deck can easily get ported to Legacy. They should have no ban list Legacy. You know, we talk about no ban list Modern all the time. Where's the no ban list Legacy? Just 4 of every... Okay, maybe ban the Moxen. I don't know. Ban the Moxen for good measure. But, whatever. Everything else can go. Demonic Tutor is our next one. I don't know how you would use this. It's a little clunky. I mean, okay, the Storm players would use this. Dark Ritual, millions of mana, Demonic Tutor for whatever they want. I guess it just makes their combo a little bit easier, right? Is there any other deck that would break this card? Because instead of... What's the card called that they have to be Hellbent to find the card that they want and put it into their hand? So now it just be like, they don't have to be Hellbent anymore. They just play Demonic Tutor. But they still have to combo off. Demonic Tutor is banned now? Where? Well, it's always been banned. No ban list Legacy is just Vintage? I guess just ban... Like, the thing that makes... In my opinion, what makes Vintage is the Moxen and Black Lotus. Like, that's what makes that format. So make no ban list Legacy minus the Moxen. And no restrictions. You can have 4 Ancestral Recall. Hear me out, people. 4 Ancestral Recall. But everyone gets to play with, like, tutors. Oh my god. You could, like, Demonic Tutor and Ancestral Recall. It'll be like an Ancestral Recall war. And who can, like, prevent everyone else from, like, Ancestral Recalling. No banless Legacy would be infinitely more... Yeah, it's way more broken than Vintage. Not sure the tutors are huge for Legacy. They're good, but that tempo loss when we're on a 2 to 3 turn format anyway, yeah. Yeah, but must be a millionaire to play Vintage. Yeah, 4 balance, let's go. Who knows what would win? Oh my god. Vintage is no ban list. No, well, no, it's not. Because everything's restricted. In my vision, for no ban list Legacy, you can play with 4 of everything. I will make sure every Magic player can play with 4 Demonic Tutor. To play with 4 Demonic Consultation. We will bring the true format back to the forefront, as it is meant to be played, as Richard Garfield intended. Vote Nikachu 2024. Well, we'll get to Lurrus eventually. This is all in alphabetical order, so I like... Because if I did it on a random order, I would have like, did we do this card? Did we not do this card? Alright, how do we break Demonic Tutor? Honestly. Search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. Like, who would want this outside of the Storm decks? Maybe the Reanimator decks? Dark Ritual, you have 5 mana, Demonic Tutor for, I guess, Reanimate. Maybe. It's Sorcery Speed. Dark Ritual, Demonic Tutor, Entomb, pass. Is that it? Or don't you want to Entomb with your last mana available? Or you just do nothing? Different flavor, but Vintage is controlled chaos of a true no-ban Legacy. Might as well flip a coin. No. Maybe who knows? Maybe there's more skill to it than you think. Who knows? Vintage lets all cards in MTG history. Almost all. Imagine Commander, but 4 of each card in a 60-card deck. Vote Nikachu 2024 for Constructed Commander. I love it. Well, here's the thing. Okay, so let's say it is an upgrade to Storm, right? It's clearly an upgrade to Storm. But they still need to Storm off. Like, they still need to rattle up a bunch of rituals and cast this card as probably their second last card and then win. So it's just like a slightly... It's like they don't need Lion's Eye Diamond to go Hellbent for... I don't remember the Hellbent tutor. I can't remember what that thing's called. Justin says, Demonic Tutor just straight up replaces Infernal... That's what it's called, Infernal Tutor. Infernal Tutor. So it just makes it like a little bit better. And Wishclaw Talisman in Ant, Tendrils, and TES. So if it's only that, I don't think that's enough to ban the card. So it needs to be outrageously broken in other decks. Infernal Tutor. I mean, because it's just like an Infernal Tutor with less steps. As far as I'm concerned. Would a non-singleton commander work? Yeah, probably. I never thought about it like that. Although I honestly, I like commander because it's singleton. I think the consistency and competitive Magic is a little bit stupid. I'm anti-consistency. I don't really like it. I think games play out a lot more differently if you have if you're reduced to a single card of each card type. It'd probably do stupid things with Belcher and Oops too. Probably. Diabolic Tutor for 2 more. Yeah, and that thing's completely unplayable. I think it's just Storm. The deck needs to be inconsistent. Do you think Pauper or Pioneer is more consistent? Probably Pauper. Yeah, I can play 4 Uro in my EDH deck, 10 mana on turn 3. Let's go. Oh, you guys talking about that? So anyway, I'm on the fence about this. I think this card is very similar to what's already in Legacy. I think it's on a very similar power level. It's a good card. Like, I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna argue that it's not a good card, but I think it's one of the it's a little bit on the lower side compared to everything else. It can't combo off immediately. It's just like an added... It's just like a card to help combo decks get there. But with a little less steps. But I'm not convinced that they are outrageously broken at the moment. So we'll just say I don't know what to say with this card. I'm gonna give it the pass. I'm gonna give it the pass, but I could be proven wrong if enough other decks could completely break this card. I think it just makes some Storm decks more consistent. But then you just pull out more, you know, anti-Storm cards. Okay, you know what time it is, people? It's time to dig through time. Blue, 6 generic for a delve spell. Look at the top 7 cards of your library. Put 2 of them into your hand, the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. I was there when this card was legal. I actually played with this card myself. Or did I? No, I didn't actually. I played with Treasure Cruise. I played with Treasure Cruise at the time. Treasure Cruise got banned. Then Dig Through Time just replaced Treasure Cruise. I didn't get that much time to play with Treasure Cruise because then... Sorry, I didn't get that much time to play with Dig Through Time because then they were like... Okay, I don't... Wizards R&D was like... Okay, this thing is basically Treasure Cruise as well. We're going to ban it as well. Because it was just an easy replacement to Treasure Cruise when Treasure Cruise got banned. It wasn't the most popular card, though. Some people thought that this was, like, better in certain decks versus Treasure Cruise. But Treasure Cruise, unbelievably, was the best card. And then when you banned Treasure Cruise, which was basically the same thing but draw 3 cards, they just replaced it with Dig Through Time, and it was the same crap. So everyone played with this card. I'm wondering, is it as good today as it was in the past? Do we have sufficient means to exile the graveyard by today's standards? Actually, this card may be even more broken today because of Dragon Rage Chandler. How good could it be? It's 6 mana, draw 2. No, it's 2 mana, dig for 2 cards out of the top 7 cards. Dig is... Well, in theory, it's better for combo. In theory. I think Treasure Cruise overall was just a better card. Just getting 3 raw cards was good. This card at the time of print costed literally 2 cents, but whoops, load the graveyard and use almost no mana to draw 2. Sure, let's go for it. This was never 2 cents. Out of the gates, this was... I don't think it was the most expensive card. It was like it was a rare. Maybe you're talking about Treasure Cruise, because that was a common. Non-bows with Murktide? You know what? That's what they said about Tarmogoyf, and it wasn't really that big of a deal. I mean, technically it is a non-bow with Murktide, but your deck will, like, churn more stuff into the graveyard anyway. In some ways, it helps Murktide, because you get the Murktide out first, and then you exile your graveyard with Dig Through Time, and you boost up your Murktide, because Murktide gets bigger for every instant and sorcery you exile from the graveyard. Today, we still have fetch lands and creature mill. It's even more broken. I think Dragon Rage Channeler would really break this card by today's standard. Dragon's Rage Channeler. This thing is just like a milling machine. Or I guess I should say surveilling machine. It just fills graveyards so easily. And you have 2 Dragon Rage Channelers. You might as well have like an infinite graveyard. Both being 2 mana, if I compare this to Demonic Tutor, we just looked at this, does so much more. This is instant, though. It's instant speed. And it's blue. Don't give blue don't give blue any ideas. Although this is true. It's okay. I have to defend this. Well, no, but this is 1 card. This is actually carded. I think the point of Dig Through Time is its card advantage. So you spend 1 card to get 2 good quality cards. Yeah, end step, Dig Through Time, find Show and Tell, and Big Dumb Thing is stupid. Does DRC see play in Legacy? Absolutely! It's better than better than Delver. It's way better than Delver. Oh, DRC not so much since oh! Did it get replaced? Oh, then maybe I am not on maybe I'm not up to date with what's going on in Legacy. Let's go to Legacy. Let's go to Legacy metagame. What's going on in Legacy? Maybe I'm mistaken. Is it Delver? Is it good? There's Dragon Rage Chandler, people. You people lying to me. Dragon Rage Chandler is the thing. Like, how would they ever... Like, if Dragon Rage Chandler wasn't played, then that means Delver of Secrets also is not being played. This card is just insane. Let's look at another list. First place is a Delver by Garrett. What's their Delver list, of course? Or maybe that's the one we just looked at. Yeah, we looked at Garrett's list. Let's look at the second place list. Kanta Hiroki. Another Dragon Rage challenge. This is busted. Yeah, Delver is the worst card in the deck. Huh? Delver is still running Delver after all this time? Well, when there's a new upgrade, they push it out, but then the card gets banned, so it's like... what was in here before? Ragavan? Ragavan got banned, then Delver came back. Okay, so dig through time. Is it broken? Absolutely, it's broken. We're not printing. That thing's not coming back. Never. Or not for a long time. I don't know. Not until you, I don't know, you unban Deathrite Shaman or something. All right, everyone. Thanks for showing up today. I hope you enjoyed looking back at the legacy ban list. Definitely look at more of that in the future. If you want to be part of Coffee and MTG, you got to be here 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Be here or be square. Thanks so much, everyone, for the support, your super chats, everyone becoming a member of the channel, and also a patron on Patreon. Thank you very much. And so long as you keep supporting the channel, I will keep being here every morning for all of you. But thank you to everyone who shows up here in the morning, giving your quality, 100% A-class commentary. Because without that commentary, I am nothing. I am worthless. I am nothing without all of you. So as usual, keep brewing up those coffees, my coffee crew, and we will... Where's my coffee? Keep brewing up those coffees, coffee crew, and we'll keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you the next cup.